Oh my gosh, hello. It's your friend Andie Main, and it's the first episode of my brand new podcast, Recovering with Andie Main. This is a podcast where we find hope in our journeys of struggle. I came up with it when I went sober, and I thought, gosh, I sure could use a podcast to listen to by someone who's also going through my journey. And I decided turn that into a podcast, branding, So this is our first episode. We have my old friend Becky Braunstein. She's a comic in LA now. We were friends in Portland a million years ago. And she's recovering from cancer. So this episode's emotional. All of them are going to be emotional. Spoiler alert, Becky lives. Anyway, I really hope you enjoy the podcast. I have a few people to thank and a few items of action. First of all, I've been recording these with Nick Holmby at Dude IDK Studios, and you should check them out for all of your needs when you need a studio or someone to say, dude, IDK. That's Nick's job. He's amazing. Also, I want to say a special thank you to my friend Dave Hill, who made that amazing song you just jammed out to. I feel all the love in it when I hear it. If you want to support the podcast, that would be amazing because it costs a lot of money. You can Venmo me at Andie-Main. My name is spelled ANDIEMAIN. At Andie-Main at Venmo if you want to give me a couple bucks. You can also support our Patreon, and I will send you little cute pictures of animals or whatever. I will draw you pictures for Patreon subscriptions. I'm going to add some more things too, but the Patreon is called Andie Main Tells Jokes. If you could share this podcast with your friends, that will help out the most. Rate and review us on iTunes or anywhere. Just write a Google review and set it on fire, and that'll be great too. My Instagram for this is recovery_podcast, and my TikTok is Andie Main. And I think that's about it. All you have to do now is just sit back and listen to this beautiful episode of Heartbreak and Recovery. Thank you so much. Dude, how are you?
I'm great. I'm okay.
Are you stoked about the WGA stuff?
I mean, yeah, I'm stoked for them for sure. Like, I'm not Writers Guild, but I am SAG.
Yeah, you're a screen actor. Yeah.
I'm still on strike, but I'm glad that the writers got a good deal. And maybe that means we'll get a good deal. I don't know anything about anything.
You just know that you're mad as hell and you're not going to take it anymore.
Yes, that's right. Yep, just want it to be better for everyone. We should all be on strike. Let's lead a revolution. What are we even doing with our time?
What are you and I striking against at this moment?
At this moment,
what should we hold a picket sign and rabble about?
Streaming ads are way too loud. They're always like 20 times louder than the show. I think that should be illegal, and I think that people breaking that law should be publicly caned.
Yeah, that used to be like Congress had to get together back when we just watched television and it wasn't even streaming. And then those like wild 2 a.m. commercials would come screaming on. And it was such a big problem that Congress stopped it. But then they just started it all over with streaming ads. Those bastards.
Like, what are they even doing in Congress? They're just sitting there twiddling their thumbs, doing revenge porn. And I only hear the bad news coming out of Congress. So I'm not sure they're doing much of anything.
Well, they're also old.
Oh, okay.
They're very elderly people, and so they need the volume loud. So they have a really hard time relating to whatever it is that we're mad about to begin with. So, anyway, that's not what this podcast is about.
Oh no, you were convincing. I thought, yes, and
I know we're yes-anding ourselves into an early grave.
Yeah.
This is my podcast about recovering, and I was a very talented alcoholic, and I've been 2 years sober, 2 years and 3 days actually.
Good for you.
Thank you so much. And I felt like I was sober for long enough now that I can make it a brand, and I'm not just like fake sober, I'm like real sober. So then I started thinking about how everyone's recovering from something, and I want to hear all of the stories. When I was like first drying out over the first like 2 or 3 weeks, and even now, but especially back then, one of the things I did was I listened to alcoholic memoirs, and that helped me relate to people, and it helped me understand that I wasn't alone. And so that's kind of the goal of this podcast, is to help other people who are going through what my guests are going through. I want them to feel that there's other people out there sharing their struggle.
That's good.
Yeah, so like you're one of my buddies from Portland. We came up together. And then we both got the fuck out.
We sure did.
We sure did. And so this is the first time we're talking after maybe a few years even. But it's so nice to see you. I mean, I see you on the socials, but this is a lot different.
That's not real.
Nope, we're just sharing the good stuff on the socials.
Yeah,
So let's get into the shit.
It's been a long time. I feel like I haven't seen anybody in a long time. Everyone I'm talking to from like Portland and like wherever, it's just like I'm realizing we literally haven't seen each other in like 5 years. Like, what's happening?
Well, yeah,
it's a new world.
It is a new world. Who knows? What do you think? What's your next 5-year plan? Oh my God. What are you going to do while you're not talking to anyone in 5 years from now? That's a scary prospect.
How much farther inward can I retreat? Yeah, I'll actually be inside out in 5 years. Just real slimy. Lots of blood.
You're such an introvert that you can turn yourself inside out.
Marvel, are you listening? The Amazing Introvert or whatever. I feel like this is $1 billion franchise.
The incredulous introvert.
Incredulous. The apologetic introvert.
The apologetic introvert. Now that's just a Mazzy Star album title.
Yeah, or just my life. Sorry.
Sorry. Well, that's been recovering. No, I'm kidding.
Cool. Let's recover from this conversation.
Oh my gosh.
I'm such a downer.
No, you're not. You're a ray of sunshine. You're one of the most,
coming from you. I don't know how to feel.
Dude. Well, I'm such a depressive that everyone else is perky compared to me. What, like one time I called you unreasonable enthusiastic, right?
Yes. Yes. Unreasonable enthusiasm. It plays in my brain. It has ever since. It's my brand. Yeah.
It's wonderful. We need more people like that. What brought you to LA, Becky?
Oh, just like blowing in the wind. Well, so comedy, acting. There's other people listening to this. That's right. Hi. Those of you who don't know, I'm a comedian and an actor, and I had been in Portland for something like 11, 12 years. And it was just kind of time. It was probably time in about 2019, but I didn't go. And then so I was very fortunate to work on some pretty cool TV productions that I can't say the name of right now because I'm still on strike. But filming production in Portland really slowed down quite a bit. And I thought, a lot of things in the universe are pointing to it's time to go to LA, which was always going to be the destination.
I think the idea of moving to LA or New York is absolutely terrifying. I'd never be able to do it.
Don't.
Sitting in traffic makes me want to die. And that's what people do there. And I don't want
to. Yes, that is the ugly truth for sure. Like it can take like 4 hours to get from one end of the city to the other, which is weird because it's like you'll go 1 mile and that'll be like half an hour. Like how is that possible? But yeah, traffic is real. But like I mean, I haven't been stuck in traffic a whole bunch though, to be honest, since I got here. So I'm better about it than I thought.
The moment you arrived, the strike happened.
Yeah. So I've been in picket line traffic. Yeah, it was like I think the writers had just started striking when I got here, and then SAG started striking like I don't know a week or two later, and I thought, well, okay, so cool, great timing to
Great timing.
pop up in LA, like
Yeah.
perfect,
Welcome to
wonderful. And then we had
LA.
like a hurricane and an earthquake, and I feel like if this was the 1600s, I'd be tied to a stake right now. But no, it's been it's been an interesting time because like yeah, like with the strikes and everything, like it sucks, you know, obviously I feel like we've all just been frozen in time, but like I've learned a lot about the industry that I didn't know. I learned a lot about writing stuff that I didn't know. Like people are reaching out and I hope they keep reaching out and talking to each other. I don't know, the sense of like camaraderie right now, like from the strike is really cool.
Yeah. I mean, the networking has to be pretty good when you're
Yeah, I
on the
mean,
picket line.
sure, I've made friends on the picket line. I mean, it's people are there's like you've got nothing else to do. I mean, you're just kind of like coming down here like bashing our heads against the wall, hoping that we are accomplishing anything at all. But like being among your people and talking about the stuff that you both are freaking out about is really quite nice. Yeah.
And then later on, when you write your memoir, which I'm going to read, you have a
Thank
really
you.
good, yeah, you have a really good beginning moment for your LA journey. Like you arrived and it all broke down. You know, that's dramatic right there.
It
That's great.
did. It
Yeah.
fits very well with the rest of my life, which, as you know, has been extremely weird. Just the whole, just wall to wall weird. So yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
I think I will start my LA chapter with that in the book that I'm for sure going to write.
Yeah, I love it. Please do. I'm not kidding around. I'd love to hear it.
Cool.
So let's see. Can you go over a little bit of what you're most proud of that you've accomplished in comedy? Like
Oh God.
what are you stoked about? Give me some of that classic optimism.
Yeah. So I mean I have a special on TV, which was pretty cool to do. It was a half hour with you know, stand up and like documentary style interviews that were very, very personal. Your voice at least was in mine because you
I
hosted the
hosted it.
show.
Yeah.
And that was very cool. And
Yeah,
I was a sweaty mess.
they got me saying, "Oh, this is such a fun time, everybody." And then they spelled my name wrong in the credits.
Damn it.
Do you know
You
how
had
they
one
spelled
job.
my name? They spelled my name Andee.
That's such a choice. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not a
That felt
like A and
deliberate.
D Y. I could see like okay that people do that, but A and D E E.
It's pronounced Andy.
And
You
and
have to get, yeah, you have to get the accent right.
sure, it's important.
Yeah, Unprotected Sets is the name of that
Yeah,
special.
that
Yeah,
was really something.
is that still viewable anywhere?
Yes, it's on what used to be Epics and is now MGM Plus. And
MGM Plus. Ooh,
yeah, we're moving up in the world. It's also available somehow through Amazon, apparently, as I have been told. And then in Australia, has just been on like regular TV for I don't know how long, but initially it was very fun to see the
that's
results of that.
cool. I love that. Well,
Me
yeah,
too.
that was like the one day in my life where I shot two television shows in one day.
What
Um, I
was
worked
the other one?
I worked on Shrill earlier that day. Um, I was in I was in the pool party episode where Adie Bryant is like finding herself and becoming comfortable in her body at a pool party. And I woke up at like 3 a.m. to get to the 5 a.m. shoot. And then I had one scene where you can see me in the background, and I'm like slightly out of focus, but you know, it's better than having my name misspelled. And I'm right behind Edie, and I drop something on the ground, and I pick it up, and then I laugh. It's some of my best acting.
I'm so proud.
Thank
I
you so
want to
much.
talk to you about this show, but I cannot.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah,
But I
yeah.
am burning and dying to.
Well, that's cool. I like that you're burning and dying too. Um,
Yes.
Speaking of burning and dying,
Yeah, that's a good transition.
I can't believe I did that. I wanted to talk to you about a very personal recovery story, and I'm so grateful
Ooh,
that you trusted me enough to talk to you about it, because you've recovered from cancer.
yes.
Yeah, and
Yes.
it's a huge thing to say out loud. Um, there were two reasons that I wanted to talk to you about it.
Mhm.
One is that I came up with the idea the same day that I was donating platelets to the Children's Cancer Hospital here in Denver. And
Nice.
I decided to start donating platelets in honor of my sister who passed away from cancer.
Mhm.
And that was a few years ago. She had a different kind though. It doesn't matter. It's cancer's cancer. And like donating platelets has been a really good way for me to honor her in a way. Um, and then wow, I was just really on theme that day because I was listening to a true crime-esque podcast about a cancer catfish lady. A lady in the evangelical church who
Mhm.
decided to pretend she had cancer for like 5 years or something. And she built her fellow worshipers out of probably like $100,000, which isn't that much money over 5 years, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
That's just a part-time job. So like um yeah, so did you fake cancer? No.
I wish. I've thought about faking not having cancer. I've done that a lot. But
Oh.
no, like what you reminded me of is there was a writer on the staff of Grey's Anatomy who sort of went in saying like I have cancer and like I can write about cancer, and that's like I think that's how she got hired, and then was just like for a long time just worked there and was writing and like completely faking having cancer the whole way through, and then it like came out and they were just like, it was so elaborate and detailed, and she just planned her whole life around doing this. And I just thought, like, are you fucking serious? Because, like, as a person who actually has cancer and has a story to tell, like, uh,
Yeah.
it's frustrating because it sort of puts suspicion on every single person who says they have cancer. It
Hmm.
it just it weakens. I mean, I don't know. It sucks. That's
Yeah.
my
It's
eloquent statement.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, that's another reason I wanted to talk to you is your eloquence.
Yeah, absolutely. Turn of a phrase
Did you
and all
invent
that
that phrase?
jazz.
It sucks.
It sucks. Yes, I did.
Wow.
I was 11, and it
What
sucked.
sucked?
What sucked? Life sucked.
Wow, you're such a genius.
I know, right? Yes, I'm agreeing to everything.
Um, how old were you when you found out that you had cancer?
I was 26, a child.
Wow. What led you to get tested? Like what, just take us through the beginning weeks if you
Yeah,
don't mind.
sure. I had lost a bunch of weight, like 85 pounds, and then I just started regaining that weight like really quickly for no reason. Like I hadn't like fallen off the wagon or anything. It just like started coming on. So I was pissed and I went to the doctor,
Yeah.
concerned that, there might be something wrong with me, and they tested my thyroid. And like after medical care in Alaska is really difficult to navigate. So I had to kind
What's
of take
difficult
the,
to navigate healthcare in Alaska?
yeah,
Oh, even
yeah,
worse than in the rest of the United States?
much, much worse. Yes.
Whoa, I didn't know it
Not a
could
fan.
I didn't know it could be worse.
It is. But like there are many very skilled, wonderful healthcare professionals in Alaska, but it's just sort of well known that like generally, yeah, healthcare is not great in Alaska. But
Hmm.
so I was in Alaska, obviously, which is why I'm saying this. And I had to go through kind of two doctors to get to the point where I could get my levels checked and all that efficiently, and they did, and I got diagnosed with Hashimoto's thyroiditis. which is an
Oh,
autoimmune disease where your body is sort of like eating your thyroid and it makes you hypothyroid and all that stuff. And apparently I had had that since I was a kid and no one knew about it. So like
oh.
implications of that. I mean, who am I? What am I? It's like, because like your thyroid sort of powers your whole body. So like anyway, yeah, so I got diagnosed with that and I thought, okay, fine, I just have to take a pill every day forever and I'll lose a bunch of weight and be great. But I got an ultrasound and there was a nodule that showed up on the ultrasound and I did some research and that didn't seem good. And then I had to go through like three more doctors to get that nodule biopsied
Oh man.
because they were all just kind of like, it's nothing, don't worry about it, like
You're being hysterical.
yeah.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
wait. It'll go away probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
So I went through three doctors who were useless, and then I went to see my mom's pulmonologist, which is a lung specialist, for those who are unaware.
Yeah,
Who
you know an entirely different language, which is the language of healthcare,
Sure.
apparently.
Yeah, I've had
Yeah.
to. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
had to really become my own doctor. But no, I went to my mom's lung specialist who has nothing to do with thyroid whatsoever. And he's actually the son of Albert Einstein's Turkish colleague. Do with that what you will. He was a wonderful man, very very nice. He died
Can
sadly, but
um anyone could say that they're the son of a friend of Einstein. Like, I'm
he
not
had the
buying it.
receipts. He
He
had
did?
receipts.
Okay. Okay. Did he have a
Yeah.
receipt signed by Albert Einstein?
I one can only hope. Yeah,
Okay. Because
I don't know.
I'm the daughter of a woman who was buddies with Mikhail Gorbachev. So
Really?
no.
God
You
damn
bought
it.
it.
I
You
wanted to
bought
believe
it. You
you.
bought it.
I wanted to believe you.
um Also, just while I'm interrupting you,
Go for it.
I want to mention that you could a really good pilot you could write would be Dr. Braunstein, medical wilderness doctor. Like
Wow.
you're a doctor in Alaska. That's a show right there.
That,
And you
we
could
love it, but we're gonna have to pass.
oh, you just shot. Wow. Okay, I'll go back to the drawing board. I was gonna find a bunch of people who were faking having cancer to write it
Okay,
for
well,
you.
now I'm in though. Negotiations are back on.
Okay, good. Excellent. I've got a vision. And
Clearly.
it involves moose. That's all I got so far.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to. If this is set in Alaska, that's part of life.
You're riding a moose to the hospital, and they're like, I don't know what happens after that. That's where the cancer catfishers come in.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm the executive producer. Okay, so you went to your mom's pulmonologist.
I did. Yes, he was a wonderful man, very eccentric, messy office. And he ordered me a biopsy. And I went down to the hospital and got a like huge fucking needle jammed into my throat. It's terribly
Oh,
painful. They did it a
were
bunch
you
of times.
sedated?
I was given lidocaine, but I am resistant to lidocaine. So
Oh,
it like wasn't sufficient to still not hurt. So yeah, they punched a few holes in my throat and like they were like, "Ooh, whoops, that's her carotid artery," and like it was very like what's happening. But it went fine. And then I went down to the records office at the hospital
hold
to.
on. 1 second.
I know.
You just said that you got punched in the carotid artery and it was okay.
I mean, yeah, I think they just kind of like nicked it or like brushed against it or something. There wasn't like screaming and panic, and I didn't
Okay.
die. So like I think
Okay.
it was just a little whoops, but
Just
yeah, Alaska, woo.
whoops.
Yeah, that's the kind of the theme of this tale.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay.
But, um, oh yeah, so I went out to the medical records office at the hospital, picked up my biopsy results because I am a go-getter, and you have to take charge when you live in Alaska. And I went and like read the results in the hallway and was like, this can't, my brain stopped working. Like I saw, papillary carcinoma on there, and I thought carcinoma, fucking shit, So
Yeah.
I went into the like records lady and was like, hey, could you take a look at this and let me know if this is something they tested for or is this the test result? And she was like, I can't, I'm not supposed to do that. But she finally did. And then she just looked at me like, oh, honey, so I
Oh,
called my
Becky.
doctor. I
So
told
they
him I had
okay,
cancer.
okay, they handed you the file and then were like, "Get to work, Becky. You're in
They
charge
didn't
of this."
know. No, I just went to the records office and picked it up because I had been accustomed to doing that, so that I could stay on top of my stuff. But
Oh, dude. And then that moment that's like forever burned in your brain about like the moment where you found out you had cancer was given to you by like the secretary,
yeah,
basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
And she was very kind. And I remained in that hallway for, I don't know, 100 years. And then I called my doctor, told him I had cancer, and
That's not how it's supposed to
I
work.
know, but you got to take charge. He responded, literally, I quote, you know, statistically, you're more likely to die in a moose crash on the way home than you are to die from thyroid cancer, as if that was like some kind of pep talk moment.
When I got diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis, which is my spinal disease,
Mhm.
just for people at home, it's my spine's fused together. And if you want to know more about it, you can watch the Motley Crue biopic The Dirt, and the bassist in Motley Crue and I share the same disease. Um, but when I got diagnosed with it,
Disease twins.
I
I
know.
have disease twins too. Mine is like
Oh,
Sophia Vergara.
oh, that's cool.
Please continue.
I want to know who your other disease twins are first, and then I'll wrap up this anecdote.
Oh, I don't. Oh, who else has it?
Well, I'll let you
Shit.
think about it while I'm wrapping up the anecdote.
Okay.
How's that? We're
Yeah, there may not
okay.
be any.
Okay. Well, Sophia Vergara, what a get.
Yeah.
um, yeah. So when I got diagnosed, my doctor said, actually, this never happens to women. So in a way, you're quite lucky.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
That's good.
you can't move your neck, but wow,
Sure.
wow, look at you, you lucky dog. So I can that was all. Okay, so you diagnosed yourself, you called your
I did.
doctor. Did
Let
you
them
make
know.
your doctor pay you?
I should have. No, I had to go get surgery. Did that in
So,
Alaska. That was a mistake.
oh my God, how long after the diagnosis was it before you got surgery?
Oh my God. Let's see. I got diagnosed on July 27th, and then I had surgery on August 12th.
Oh, that's amazing. That's cool. As long as it wasn't August
Sure.
12th, like 2022, like
No, it was the same. Yeah, it was
they
immediately
went right to
thereafter.
it. That's
They
cool.
did go right to it. Yeah. It didn't go well.
Oh.
They they removed my thyroid and 10 lymph nodes that were all positive for cancer, but what they should have done is kept removing lymph nodes until they got to one that wasn't positive. So
Oh. So they
foreshadowing, spoiler alert.
oh no, they left over a couple guys that they should have taken out.
They sure did. Yeah,
Well,
they did
that's
do
not
that.
good. That's not good.
That's not. But I I went to Portland right after that because it was time to get better medical care and to
Hmm.
do comedy and whatever else I was gonna do.
You're like,
Um,
I'm in the best place of my life. I'm gonna move to
yes.
Portland and do comedy.
Yeah. I picked Portland at random and then
Was
popped
it
down and
random?
it literally was. Yeah.
What were the random factors that led to it?
I was just thinking, where are we gonna move to? And like LA seemed like too much too soon. Seattle was like just too much in general, I think. And
Good
I thought,
call.
well, there's Portland. I've heard of Portland. Like maybe, and I looked it up and was like, oh, fucking
You're like,
A.
I like Sleater Kinney.
Yeah, as much as the next person. I mean, why not? Yeah, so shimming into town, and then OHSU, where the real doctors are with their science and all that sort of thing. Like they really picked it up and turn the ship around. So
Yeah. Well, tea leaves are a valuable tool for diagnosing cancer, but they can only do so much.
it's true.
Yeah.
Um,
So
yeah.
this was, were you doing cancer treatment by the time that I had met you?
Oh yeah. I mean, I was treated in 2010 when I was still in Alaska, and then I moved to Portland in 2011. No, in
Wow.
2010. Yeah, later
Okay.
that year. That's
Okay.
crazy. Cool.
Yeah. I started comedy in 2012. So
Okay. I started in 2013.
yeah. Wow, look at us.
10 years next month. Dear God.
I know. One of those years
Oh,
that
wow.
didn't count. And you've got credits,
A
so good for
few.
you.
Yeah, that 450 will get you nothing.
um, okay. So, what was the foreshadowing? Let's go back to the foreshadowing because you did.
So yeah, they did not do a good cleanup job in Alaska. So I moved down to Portland and went in for testing, and they did all the weird tests and all the stuff. And then like this is like how different it was. Like I was in OHSU, which is a modern university hospital, cutting edge, right? Like and they did the
Right, the
little
trail.
scans. Yeah, that one. And so I'm in like nuclear medicine getting the scans done, and I stand up and they're like, all right, you're good to go, like whatever. As I'm walking out, the like receptionist at the front of the office stops me as with the phone, and it's like, wait, 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 and said, your doctor's on the phone, and like hands me the phone. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm not even out of the office. And he's like, oh, Miss Braunstein, like it's not like yeah, it was not good news. So we had to schedule another surgery that was like really, really gnarly, like way gnarlier than the first.
That's the one I remember you talking about, is that
Yeah,
you could have lost your voice with that one, right?
that was. I mean, that was true of all of them, but that was really more so of the third one. But
Mm-hmm.
this one in the middle was like the hardest surgery. It was just very extensive. Like they took out like 100 and some lymph nodes from my sort of jaw, throat, neck area, and then like it leaves you like permanently numb to the touch in like kind of this whole zone. I don't know if people can see it, but it's like kind of like from like chin to chest to like t-shirt sleeve around the back
You're
ear, middle
totally
of the
numb
face.
over there.
Yeah, like if you were to like scratch me or something, like I wouldn't feel it.
How do you feel about that?
It's weird, and it sucks, but it's like
It's
it's
kind
such
of
a minor.
cool.
Is it? It's
I
not.
mean, if someone can't mug you as effectively,
I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah,
you,
don't sneak up on me and stab.
yeah, but like
I mean, don't do that in general.
if you were a more violent minded person, it could be kind of a superpower and you could do backyard wrestling.
I mean, sure, that's very enterprising.
have you have you considered that?
I haven't. I can truly say I have not thought about that.
We could
But
call
I
you
will
Alaskan
now.
Thunderfuck.
Sure. I think that's taken. That's someone else has that one.
Oh, really? I thought I just
Yeah.
invented that, like you invented the term "it
No,
sucks."
that
Um,
the that was a term for marijuana that was grown in Alaska, and then it
yeah.
was adopted by a drag performer, I believe.
Oh, nice. Well, you can be Alaska Thunderbucks.
Sure.
I know what you meant when you said "sure" like that.
It's like sure with a heart around us.
Oh, okay. um, let's let's go back a little bit. Like, what were you doing to stay sane during, like between first and second surgery, like at this whole period, the first 2/3 of this situation, like, um, you need so much support, like I wish I could just cradle you in my arms right now and give you a big hug, because it's like, holy shit, what do you do to like stay sane during that kind of thing?
I'm the kind of person that has to like take charge of the situation in a crisis. Like I had a binder that I had organized into little tabs with every single one of my records. I did a lot of research. I like kept records. I made notes. I planned things. Like I was very in charge, and like that made me feel like I was doing something, and I was of
That's
course
fucking cool as hell.
compartmentalizing.
Hmm.
I mean, it's what I needed to do, and then I didn't really process until later, which was, that's a whole mental health, party favor. But
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
did what I needed to do in the moment. When
Dude,
I watched Bollywood films, I ate rice pudding. I mean, it was just a weird time, but
yeah. I have so much admiration for you. What a great coping mechanism that is. When shit hit the fan for me, I just drank, and and
mm,
like that's all I did. Like if I had a cancer diagnosis 2 or 3 years ago, I would have been like, oh well, I'm gonna die, and that would have been it. But you were strong enough to like take control of it. Like I really hope that you know that that's a huge thing to admire about someone. I lost my vocabulary. I was
I, I know what
but
you mean.
yeah, I that's just a lot of strength right there. So I hope you know
Wow.
that. Yeah. Um
I Yeah, I mean, it felt kind of like I was desperately grasping onto,
mhm,
anything, but yeah, no, I felt like I was in control a little bit. So,
mhm. That's
yeah,
cool as hell. That one part's cool as hell.
I
Um
guess, sure.
Oh my God. I can't believe the tables have turned and I'm the optimist in our relationship now.
Yeah, I'm the downer. And
Becky's
it gets
gone,
worse.
goth. Becky's gone, goth.
Finally.
Finally. The sunshine of LA has turned you into a goth. Okay. Doctor's with you on the phone. And he says,
Yeah.
Rebecca Lynn, we have more tests. What does he say to you?
He says we have to get you in for another surgery and radiation, and it's not good, like
Yeah.
he's very matter of fact. He's a little bit on the robotic side, but he's a wonderful man,
Hmm.
and a very good doctor.
He's no friend of Einstein's, so
I no, he lives in America. He's a scientist. I love it. It's
yeah.
great.
That's all. I mean, really, I don't know about the living in America part, but the scientist part sounds great.
Yeah. I mean, science, big fan.
Okay. So it's like 2012-ish by this time.
So yeah, something like
Yeah. A young Andie Main is just ripping the Portland comedy scene apart.
that.
Becky's
Yeah.
Becky's facing radiation. How many radiation appointments did you have to go through?
I did two radiations.
Oh,
One in Alaska, one in Portland. Oh
oh
boy,
wow.
different.
Is radiation different than chemo?
Yes, I did not do chemo because there is no chemo for my kind of cancer. The treatment is just surgery and radiation, which is weird. It's like a weird radiation. It's not the kind where you like go in and they hit you with a beam or whatever. Like it's a pill that you take that's filled with
Oh,
radioactive iodine. Um,
oh,
which is yeah, I-131, which is the stuff that came out at like Chernobyl.
like
And
literally that was the source of your pill?
I don't know that that was the source.
Okay. I'm
But it's
gullible.
the same chemical.
Okay.
So
You're
like
like, I want that purified Chernobyl shit. I don't want the generic. I want it from the source.
yeah, dude, Pripyat or get the fuck out. So it's like pill form. You go into the hospital and you have to be in a lead lined hospital room that's all set up
Whoa.
for like biohazard. Yeah. So, and like everything's like covered in plastic, and like they come in like moose suits with like this canister and the tongs, and it's like take the pill, like, and you just take this pill and then they run, and then you're just in there and no one can come in or out for like 3 days.
While you're taking the pill, you have to take the pill in this lead room
Yeah,
and they can't be in it. Are you
right.
wearing so you don't have to worry about the exposure to radiation because you're
No,
putting it inside of your
because I'm
body.
being irradiated. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
What okay, that's a lot to
Right. The
unpack
mind fuck. Yeah,
emotionally.
no, for sure. The mind fuck of seeing the people in the moon suits. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there in a t-shirt and shorts, like going, okay, so yeah. I'm
They're like,
getting
here's
flashbacks to
this
that in
thing
COVID
that's
times.
gonna save your life, and then they run the fuck away from you.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and like, man, you have to get measured with a Geiger counter every day to make sure that you're it's decaying. But I wasn't decaying. Each day it was about the same level of radioactive, and they were like, "What's going on? This is so weird. Like, what do we
Wait,
do? Panic."
are you supposed to decay?
Yes, like it's supposed to, like, you start out being just hot, 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 and then like it's supposed to each day go like way down until you're like safe enough to be released into the wild.
Oh, wow. And
So
you weren't decaying.
I wasn't. I was the same level of radioactive, and they were like, "What is this? What are you?" You know. And then what they realized though is that I'd been standing right next to the trash can when they measured me, so they were measuring the trash. So we moved the trash, and then I was good. But um, that was in Alaska, and then one of the doctors
That was
accidentally
that
stepped
was
into the
the
room, and like that was a whole thing. It was just the Keystone Cops, man.
oh, was that the moment where you're like, I better go to Portland? Was when they were measuring the garbage can radiation?
That it was had crossed my mind. Yeah, for sure. Um,
Becky.
it
Oh
was
no.
difficult, but yeah, we I mean, like right after that, I got the f out of there and went to Portland, and it's a good thing I did because now I'm alive.
Yeah, it's a good thing you did. Holy shit. Okay. That wow. Thank you for sharing all of this with me so far. Like,
Yeah,
I really hope that I'm not like triggering you, you know? Like, that's the one
no,
thing I'm worried about with this podcast is like how many times, if this keeps going, if I do this for years and years, how many times am I gonna make people cry, and how many times are people gonna make me cry on this podcast? Um,
that's it's good. If we cry today, good. Honestly, we both need a good cry. It's all about emotional truth in 2023.
hey, that's beautiful. It is about emotional truth. That's the new tagline for recovering with Andie Main. It's about emotional truth.
Yes, it is.
That's a beautiful thing. That part, not you not decaying. Or no, wait, the
Oh
garbage
yeah,
can. The garbage can was not
garbage
decaying,
can.
but
Right.
you were decaying. Thank
I was
God.
decaying. Yeah. Yeah, they let me go. And then I just like, you couldn't eat anything with like salt in it for 2 weeks prior. I had to be off my medicine. So I'm like half dead during this time. Everything's terrible, nausea, uncontrollable. Like it's fucking terrible. And then,
Are you
I'm
losing
out
your
of there and
hair
it's like,
too?
no, like a little, but not like if people lose it with chemo where it just like
Thank
falls
God.
out. It
You
was
have
just like sort
beautiful
of
hair.
thinning.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I mean,
Well,
yeah, I don't know. It's hard to compare.
oh, with my hair, come on. My hair is
Oh,
like it's weird now. It's very Einsteinian actually.
it's
Um,
wild, you know.
yeah. It's gotten a lot more tame because like I can pull off a shorter haircut in my opinion,
Mhm.
so I can mitigate a lot of the wildness. And then in Denver, my hair is a lot straighter because there's no moisture in the air. So
Mm.
now it just looks like I've got a lot of body instead of psychotic 1930s cherubic child ringlet curls. So, I've come to accept that and it's fine. That's a weird visual. Let's go back to cancer. Uh
Back to cancer.
back to cancer.
Donate today.
Donate to me today. I promise to give some money to cancer. But to
Yeah.
fight, I'm going to donate it to fight it, not to
Oh,
support it.
okay.
I
Oh,
promise.
that's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I
Whenever
appreciate
people
this.
say whenever people say donate to cancer, I'm like,
I
which
can't
side?
handle it. I'm with you. Yeah.
Which side? Um, do you hate the pink breast cancer lady,
I don't know
Rebecca
the
Corman?
I I That sounds like two different people, but whoever she is, I have
I
no
can't remember
feelings
her name.
towards her.
Okay.
Susan G. Komen.
Susan G. Komen, yeah.
God bless her. I'm sure like she was doing wonderful work. I don't know anything about her other than her name is associated with a breast cancer charity, and I certainly am against cancer and pro charity.
That's true.
However, there's a lot of feelings in the cancer community around what I'm calling cancer culture, which is like, the ribbons and the pink shit and like, save the teddies and like the races and like, oh my God,
Yeah.
like we have mixed feelings and we're having thoughtful internal debate on the subject.
God, you're such a diplomat. You've always been a diplomat and you're still such a diplomat and I love it. I really wanted to get a hot take where you're like, fuck that pink license plate cancer lady. But no, we're going to have thoughtful internal dialogue.
It's a nuanced issue. There's a lot going on. I mean, obviously, raising awareness is good. Raising money is good, but the commercialization and trivialization is kind of bizarre. And then to focus on only one or two kinds of cancer, meanwhile, the rest of us, there's no thyroid cancer fucking ribbon shirt empire, like so.
Yeah. Like my sister,
it's complicated.
My sister died of colon cancer, and that one just isn't sexy, not like breast cancer.
Right. Yeah. That's not helping anybody, like
No.
we need to do that.
Yeah. Like, would guys give a shit about like any other cancer, or do they just give a shit about breast cancer? Like, what a terrible way to market. Like, we got to get men involved, so let's sexualize it. That's terrible to men and us, And then what if a guy gets breast cancer? Do guys get breast cancer?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I hope they're okay.
Me too. Jesus Christ.
Oh man, I think I should quit. I feel like did you ever watch Saturday Night Live in the 90s? Was that part of your jam?
Sure, yeah. Everybody's jam.
I felt like when Will Ferrell did Harry Carey, the sportscast announcer, he'd be like, "Hey Colin, if there was a moon made of cheese, would you eat it?" That's what I just did to cancer. Do guys get breast cancer? Oh, I hope they're okay. That's literally what just happened to me.
It's good sentiment. Nothing wrong with that.
Have you ever done any sort of like, how involved have you been in the cancer community, like with any sort of I guess recovery groups or wearing a t-shirt? Like, have you done any of that kind of stuff?
I was in a support group with other young adults with cancer, where I met one of my current collaborators. We're still friends, wrote a script together.
But you can't talk about that script, but you did write it. Okay.
No, I can talk about that because it's not but
well, let's save it for the end, but let's end on that because that'll be optimistic and creative.
Yes, it will. Yes,
and it won't involve me talking, which is a real benefit for my listeners.
I mean, this is a two-way conversation. That is my goal. What the fuck was I saying? Oh my God. Where am I?
We were just at getting the other lymph nodes removed in Portland.
Oh, yes. Yes. So that was a really gnarly surgery. It was really hard. Recovery was unbelievable for that. It was long. It was painful. I had nerve pain that they couldn't stop. And that was terrible.
So did they, I'm going to be really, really blunt. Did they just like cut you from here to like the shoulder part? Like they just kind of like tore you open, and that's so scary.
No, the cut itself is just kind of like around here and up to like almost to like with my ear around here. But the nerve damage extends for that whole area. So like there, just another fucking scar across the throat, and then they had to put a tube in there to drain it. Pulling that out hurt really, really bad. But
this is before you're fucking 30, dude.
I think it was, yeah. Yeah, it was. So that like the pain was like unbelievable. It took forever to recover from that. I still have effects from that, obviously the numbness, like I'm sensitive to like sun and heat. It will swell and hurt. Things
Oh,
will itch and I can't like quite scratch them, like you know,
that's such a
lymphedema.
that's a specific kind of hell. Like
Yeah.
that's like a gypsy curse. Like
Oh,
may your itches never be scratched, you know?
that's a good
Jesus.
curse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Um,
I'm
so how long did that recovery take when you were like unable to really get out of bed or anything?
it was so long. I couldn't tell you exactly, but it was some time. I mean, it was maybe like a month or two before I was even remotely like getting better. That was a really hard one. Um,
Yeah. And that was surgery number 2 or number 3?
two. That was the
God
second
damn
one.
it. We still have surgery number 3 to get to.
We do. This is yeah. So we're in
Ah,
act two now.
we're in act 2. We're we're at the climax. We've
Yeah,
got we've got all of these themes we need to resolve in act 3. You better resolve
yeah.
these themes, Braunstein. No, I'm
So
kidding. I'm kidding.
I've got the like, you know, life is short, I could die at any moment, energy kick. And I'm saying, okay, I gotta get on stage, I gotta do this. And I've been doing stand up, I've been hitting it really hard. I've been getting to the point where like I was starting to get booked on shows and feel like, oh shit, you know, like this could really, oh, here we go, man. And then I went in to get tested and, you know, here we go again, Mamma Mia.
That's what they wrote the song about.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's back. Too cancer, too furious. And so they said that they had to take out those lymph nodes, but that they were adhered to the nerve that controls my voice. So this is where I'm just kind of like, you know, I like blacking out slash like gritting my teeth. It was a really weird time. And
Wait, were you blacking out because of the anxiety? Like you'd think about that to the point where it would just make
yeah,
you disassociate? Oh my goodness.
I mean,
And
like sitting there listening to the doctor say like here's what's going on, you just can't, like it doesn't go in your ears.
mhm,
Like I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, it sucks.
yeah.
But I was much more afraid that I was gonna lose my voice than that I would die.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I felt in that moment like I gotta get out and do as many shows as I possibly can. 'Cause how's this gonna go? So I kind of put out a message in like the Portland comics group on Facebook and was like, look, I'm I'm about to have surgery. Like, can I just like do as many shows as I can? Like, who's got a show?
did I book
And
you? Please tell me I
I
booked
don't
you.
know. I'm not
Oh
sure.
no. I mean, I booked you a
I
lot.
don't know if
I
you
don't
even had a show then. Like,
I booked you on Revolution Comedy at
yeah,
times.
yeah,
So
I remember that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Oh
Cool
yeah.
Kids. I got you on Cool Kids.
Yes, that was a
Yeah.
fun show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Thank God I booked you.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It was yeah, people who had shows were yeah, very nice and cool about it. And I did some shows and
Way to play
my
the
family
cancer
came
card,
down and
Bronstein.
I know, yeah, it was a very long tactic
Yeah. Wow,
to get stage time.
you really catfish the Portland comedy scene.
Yeah, let me tell you.
What you really got that long con for 2 drink tickets and $10.
I'll tell you what, man, like this scar, oh man, worth it. Like
Those 5 people in the crowd really loved your shit.
ay, ay,
um okay. All right. Well, gosh. Let's go to surgery 3. Where how long ago was surgery 3? I vaguely remember it on Facebook, but that's
I
not
mean, yeah, I think that was 2015.
okay. A
Might
young
have been
Donald
2014.
a young spry Donald Trump is winning the hearts of the Republican Party.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just setting the scene. I know.
um,
He's a social cancer. It relates.
oh shit. Um, well, we're in remission.
Oh, we are in remission right now. Joe Biden is that little pill you have to take in the lead room.
Terrible. Oh my God. Yeah.
The cure, kinda. So where were you at emotionally leading up to your third surgery, and what were your expectations like?
I was horrified. I was like paralyzed with fear.
Oh.
I had to do like 6 weeks of therapy just to get into my second surgery. So I was having to kind of get back into that space to get ready for it, and all I could think about was I'm gonna wake up and not be able to talk, and like my life is over, you know. And I was so scared about that, you know, but I had no choice. I mean, I had to do it. So it took a lot of Xanax, to be honest, to get me in there. And I just went in there and
I feel like you were taking some of that power, you know, that you had with your ability to organize and diagnose yourself. Like you definitely had some of that remaining, you know, some of that fight left in you to get into it. Like I'm just intuiting that, but I hope that there's a part of that there, because it's not, I mean, wow, dude, what a fucking heavy load you had to carry. How did that surgery go?
I don't know. I wasn't there. It was, I think it went okay. I don't remember there being any drama with that one. There was a little bit of, you know, like what's going on. Took longer than they thought with the last one, but yeah, the third one, I think it just kind of went as expected, and then they had to wait until I wake up to, you know, assess whether I could speak, obviously. And I remember sort of being told that, you know, when I woke up, I was talking, and I said something about like, do you think I can make it to helium? Because it was Tuesday or something. I was like, Jesus Christ. But I was very relieved, and like, yeah, I don't know what people were betting on, you know, because I couldn't really assess what was happening, but
oh, I love that that was your first words coming back. Is that how you knew you could talk again?
I mean, yeah, I was very drugged, you know, so it wasn't like fully there, but yeah, I think I knew. I realized that I was talking, and I was happy about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you were like, they really got to hear my hot takes about the Kardashians and what they were up to in 2014. That's a very important thing to talk about at this moment.
I don't think I ever had a Kardashian joke. Did you?
No, not at all. I've never done. If I started talking about something in pop culture, I don't know where I'd go with it, because I'm just so out of touch with that stuff. But I was trying to think of like a relevant cultural thing in 2014, and the Kardashians was all
that's solid bet. That's a safe bet all the way back to 06. Yeah.
Yeah. So please check out my latest album, Andie is Keeping Up with the Kardashians, where I just talked to my dog about how little I know about them.
Everyone would watch that.
It's conceptual. Okay, so you can talk, you want to go to the mic. How long was it between when you woke up and then you did comedy again?
That's a great question.
I'm a hard-hitting journalist.
It would have been a few months at least, because your voice is kind of shitty for a while after they work on you in there. So I would have been kind of raspy and whatever.
But
that
also would have been hot though.
Recovering.
That would have been hot.
Yes,
a little
yeah, no, allergies are sexy. Yeah, I'm sure I wanted to run right the fuck back out. But I can't think of like a landmark to. It was probably just a few months, maybe 4 or 5 months, and those maybe back up.
Do you remember your first show back?
I don't, and it's killing me because now I like I wonder why not. Like that should have been an occasion.
I think it's because you were just like, all right, back to business. You were like,
Yeah,
let's not even be
yeah.
sentimental about this because this is my life and this is how
No.
it's always going to be, is I'm always going to be on stage. So this isn't even an exciting
Yeah,
moment. I
that's
remember
true.
the first time I went back on stage sober. Um, and I was talking really fast because I wasn't drunk. Um, and so it was like I had a little bit of mania when I went sober because I just, took
Mhm.
the brakes off. I was driving around with brakes on the whole time, and then I took the brakes off and I'm going really fast all of a sudden. So I just, that's just a moment in my life where I remember going back on stage, but I remember everything now that I'm sober.
Sure.
for better or worse. um do you is it gone or is it there lurking in the background? What's going on now, Becky?
I would love to tell you that it was gone, but unfortunately, just this year, my doctor finally said the words, that he believes this like one remaining lymph node that they've been watching the last few years is positive. Like he's yeah, he's a very cautious individual, so he wouldn't just hazard a guess. So I believe him when he says this. But they can't even biopsy it because it's in such a like hard to reach and dangerous spot. Like there's too many important structures nearby to just go jamming a needle in there. So we're kind of in a like a watch and test pattern to see like if it starts getting bigger or like if my numbers go up, like then they might have to get in there. But
But they don't want
apparently,
to. They don't want to until they have to.
yeah, and my doctor said that he's actually got another patient who's had a positive node in there for like 17 years and nothing, it never spread, so they just didn't do anything with it. So like I don't know if that's going to be my future, but man, it's weird walking around with that in there.
Yeah. Oh man, Becky. Well, Jesus Christ, I'm so glad you're here with me today and you've come through this whole experience. Like,
Thank
um,
you. Thank
yeah, that's
you.
that's just so much bravery and strength right there. And I really, really mean it. Um, gosh, I'm kind of just stuttering because I don't have any real words to say right now. That's
I
my
don't know if it's
emotional
that
truth.
brave or strong, to be honest with you. I mean, like, you just like sort of show up and you go to appointments, you go home, you stay alive. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, I don't know. There's so much pressure put on cancer patients, I think, to like be tough and you know what I mean? That sort of like suffer in silence and don't let anyone know. But like, I feel like we need to like glorify giving up and taking a rest and just being not okay.
Yeah, let's
I'm getting
glorify
way too.
whining.
Here's my
Let's,
hot take.
yeah. What do you want to what do you want to whine about? Give us any complaints, any at all. You could
Oh
you
my
could tell us anything. The pettier the
me,
better. The commercials
Jesus.
are too loud. That's the thing.
LAX is a fucking prank and a trap. It is the devil's toilet. I honestly like I understand why people would rather die than pick someone up from LAX. I totally get it. I would not pick up Jesus Christ from LAX for $40 million on a Netflix show. Like I truly I hate it.
Would you
I
rather? Would you rather have lymph node cancer or pick me up from LAX?
wait a minute. So pick you up from LAX versus cancer?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, that is a tough one.
Take your time. You've got play.
You know, I would pick you up from LAX.
Oh, thanks, Becky.
If it was that versus cancer.
If you're okay, valid, valid. I always flew out of the Burbank airport, and that was fine with me.
That's like $200 more. Like,
Oh, is it?
I mean, from what I've been seeing, I don't know.
Oh,
Changed.
I don't know. Not
People are
it.
raving about it. I get it. I mean, I can see the appeal.
Yeah, I wanted to call it the Bob Newhart Airport, but I know that's not the right name. Kenny Rogers. No, it's not Kenny Rogers. What old-timey actor is it?
What are you talking about? Oh yeah,
I'm
is it
calling it,
John Wayne?
could be. I'm calling it the
John
Bob
Wayne has an
New.
airport.
I'm calling it the Bob Newhart Airport.
I'd like that, honestly. He deserves an airport. Like, who the hell
does.
has ever deserved an airport more?
He-
I support this.
You know what's really cute about Bob Newhart is that he was alternative comedy back in that day.
Sure. He
Yeah.
is. Yeah. Do you ever watch like his show? Like, well,
The
he had a couple
Newhart
of
show?
shows. Like the Newhart show and then
I did
that
when I
other
was a
one.
kid.
Yeah, me too. Larry, Daryl, and all that.
Yeah. Were they in Alaska?
No, it was like Vermont or something
Felt like
that.
Alaska.
New Hampshire. It's similar.
Um, so you met a friend in your cancer support group and you guys wrote a script and you can actually talk to me about it.
Yes, I can.
Okay. It's called Cancer Culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at me and my information retention.
Yeah.
Was this friend, what's her name, by the way?
Her name is Brianna Barrett, and she is wonderful. And yes, both of our initials are BB. It's a lot of B's. It's very cute. We're very cool. She's a writer. She's a playwright. She's an award-winning playwright. She's very good at her craft. And she's done a little bit of screenwriting as well. So we kind of just sort of remained friends, stayed in touch. We were chatting about writing. And this was like 2021 maybe. And I just said one day, like, hey, wouldn't it be terrible if we wrote a script about, how we met in the support group and everything? Ha, ha, ha. And she was like, yeah, let's do it. Fast forward, I think 7 months it took us.
That's really fast, right?
Is it? I don't think it is. But,
that's just a regular pace. Okay.
we weren't like I don't know. We weren't trying to set a pace. We were just like writing. Fuck it, like we didn't know what we were doing. We wrote a draft and we worked really well together, which is strange because I usually am someone who works alone. But
you're a lone wolf.
Yeah. And so we wrote this pilot, and then we kind of were like, what the hell do we do with this? And we submitted to a program that it sort of trains you to pitch a series and like helps develop, your project that centers around like social justice issues. And we were like, well, shit, like cancer, disabilities, healthcare, absolutely. So we did that and we were able to pitch our series and like get feedback and like we met with a bunch of like industry folks. And
did you get any shitty feedback like, hey, can you take this cancer and make it sexy?
That would be very funny. We actually have a line in there about that, like in our pitch and like in the show about like, can cancer be sexy? Like, no. But it's, yeah, no one has given us anything even remotely like that. It's there's been a few people who have been kind of like, can cancer be funny? But I think it can, and I think we are working on filming a short film version around
Yeah.
So
oh my god, snaps to
that's
you,
in the
dude.
works.
Oh my god. And you went through the festival, the I don't know, the writing festival kind of process with it. Am I using the term festival right? But your script went really far up the ranks, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got far.
Yeah, it was something like 500 submissions, and we were in sort of the top 12 projects.
Hey, Mazel Tov, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Would you rather have cancer or would you rather have a script selling about cancer?
That is, you have just roasted me into ashes, my friend. Oh my God.
That had a lot of layers to it. I was just trying to make a dumb joke and now I'm like,
That's good.
that's
Honestly,
an existential question.
that's razor sharp. To quote the great Stephen Toast, I want to be dead or on TV.
Who's Stephen Toast?
That's a real deep cut. It's a Matt Berry character on a BBC series. I think it's BBC. It might be Channel 4. Sorry. But great show. Anyway, he's a sort of like a jaded, disgruntled actor. Toast of London. Look it up. Why was I quoting him?
Because I asked a brazenly disgusting question. But it was kind of supposed to be a joke.
Sure. Oh, would I rather sell a show or have cancer or whatever? Yeah. Like, wait, no, that's not.
Was it worth it?
I'd rather sell the show than have cancer. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Oh, let's move on.
I think I'm gonna go with not having cancer.
That's the right choice.
I'd love to not have cancer. That'd be
pretty cool. Yeah.
I'd really like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've gotten to an hour here.
Wow.
Yeah, that flew by.
All we talked about was cancer, dude.
Well, it was about recovery. You're still.
Yeah, that's true. There's hope. Yes.
Yeah. What do you do? What do you do for self-care now? Like, what do you do to make yourself smile? Or like anything silly is a good answer. Because like, I mean, I do really silly things with my dog that no one else is ever gonna see. Like, I just have really dumb conversations with my dog, and that makes me smile, and it helps me feel better when I'm getting really stressed out. Like a dopamine hit for me, playing fetch with my dog. Simple as that. That can turn my entire day around. So, what do you do for a good dopamine hit when you really need it?
I listen to music.
Yeah.
And I walk listening to music every day. And I listen to music all day, every day, like all the time. Like my Spotify numbers are insane.
Mine are too. I have it on constantly.
Yeah.
What's your top genres when you get the Spotify hits of the year?
It's confetti. Like you'd never like we've got 1920s jazz, we've got German rap, we've got Russian pop, we've got 1960s rock, we've got 90s alternative. I mean like absolutely everything under the sun.
I love that.
Everything. I've tried all the weird new genres that they're coming out with, vaporwave and synth wave, and I'll listen to anything.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. That's great. Well, can you make me a playlist?
I mean, yes. Question mark. That's
okay.
So personal.
Do you want a playlist? Oh, not like about me, not songs that remind you of me.
Like a mixtape.
No, I don't need a confessional love mixtape. I just want some hot German rap.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
I want some of your fave bops, as the kids say.
I could recommend. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you want to put one in there about your true feelings about me, I'll notice.
Well, good luck. I like the funny songs. So
I want to hear it. I want to hear some of your hits. Yeah. I thank you so much, Becky. I had so much fun talking with you. Yeah.
It's so nice talking to you too. It's been too long.
I know. And we're not even doing the same weekend of that comedy festival. So
how did that happen?
I know. But this is coming out in November. Where should people find you on social media? And is there anything that you'd like to plug that you know will be happening in November?
Oh, what could happen in November? Anything can happen in November. I am on social media as Becky Braunstein everywhere except for Twitter. which I am Becky from Alaska, because Becky Braunstein at the time was taken by a dog with a locked account. So I am on YouTube, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, or whatever it is called in the future in November. I am on Threads. I like Threads. That's a good one. Positivity, sort of, kind of. I'm on Facebook, but I don't like it and I barely use it. And I have some animated history comedy series clips on various platforms.
Tell us about your animated YouTube history comedy channel. I love that shit.
Yeah, they're very labor intensive, so there's only like 3 or 4 of them. But I've done like animated history stories from like weird little like microcosms in history. It's similar to Drunk History, but it's sober, and it's like with shitty Photoshop based animations that I do myself. And there's stories about like, you know, Joseph Stalin's like music beef with Shostakovich and like the Earl of Essex, and it's just there's so much weird shit out there.
Was the Earl of Essex that fop aristocrat guy that had no? Yeah, I watched that one. I loved that.
Oh, I love that you watched it.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna go home and watch more of them. Yeah,
I want to rewatch them. They were fun, but really hard to make.
Yeah. Well, you're only gonna have to be picketing a little bit longer, and the strike's gonna break. So then,
and if this is November, it could already be over for all we know.
Strike's over. You sold your
we
pilot.
did it.
You sold your pilot.
Yeah. Right.
A young Joe Biden took Congress by storm. And now we don't have loud commercials on YouTube, so it's great.
Yes,
yes, we did
it. We have recovered from bullshit.
We recovered. All right. Well, this was Recovery with Andie Main, and I'm gonna make a note that that's the end of the podcast.